What's good, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Full Circle. I'm your host, as always, Harmon Jr. Please feel free to find me at Harmon Jr. on all your favorite social media. And people, all right, I just gotta get this out the way. Pokemon month is over. Yes, I said it last episode. We're not talking about Pokemon. It's over. I did say, though, if Pokemon Day had a special Pokemon announcement, I might have another special episode. And they announced Gen 9. I'm going to tell you, I am not having a Gen 9 reveal special. I could easily have a Gen 9 reveal special. In fact, the last episode of the month shouldn't have been the episode. It should have just been the Gen 9 reveal special. But I'm gonna save y'all the trouble. We're gonna talk about it this week, but it's gonna be brief. I promise. We got two other big topics, really big, as a matter of fact. So, but before we introduce topics, give it up for the one and only Ben Runnings, everybody. Woo! How you doing today, sir?
Doing good. I just came back from Costco,
Whoa.
which is a hellscape. In case you're curious, it's not a great place. Don't go there.
You know, I can't shop anywhere that requires a membership. Like, I had one at Sam's once, and then one there, like, it expired, and I couldn't check out, and they were like, well, you got to get it before you check out. I'm like, you're really gonna, you know what, I'm done with that. But you're adulting. I hear that's where adults shop, so yeah. Hellscape is probably proper, to describe
It's not
that.
great. It's not great. No.
Well, for all y'all Full Circle regulars, you already know Ben is not new to the show. He is a fan of the show. He is a what's what I'm looking for? He's a friend of the show. I don't know if Ben's a fan or not. It don't matter, but he's a friend of the show. He's like, it's all right.
It's all right. I don't know.
But Ben, real quick, just in case people at home don't know, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah. Well, right now, Sir Ben over here is in the middle of a hiatus caused by Joel. Our not Full Circle, Final Checkpoint podcast is on hiatus. Joel killed it, so you can send all your angry messages to him. But I'm currently working on some things that should come to light eventually. I'm actually doing some game dev stuff that I want to, devote more time to. But there's a little Elden Ring thing happening, so I'm a little distracted right now. Right now, just follow me on Twitter at Ben Runnings and hear my snarky, condescending comments.
Very, very. In case, just fair warning, this is a family-friendly show, but there's about to be some heat, some very hot takes this episode. Oh, yeah. So, go ahead and I'm going to put that TV 14. So if you were 13 and younger.
I don't know if I could keep it that low. I think it's got to be higher, to be fair.
We're going to try. Well, TV 14 is like a BS rating anyway, because it's like made for TV R. It's like we have like Scarface on TV's like TV 14. I'm like, I know it's not R, but 14 seems a little low.
It's a little arbitrary too. The whole thing's goofy in the first place.
Yeah, very much so. But everybody, we got a great show for you this week. We're going to be talking about, it's 2022 over for gaming because February's done. And that's it. Breath of the Wild 2 is probably not coming out, so... Well, Pokemon's coming out now, so we're going to talk about that real soon. But who knows? We're gonna look at the calendar and see, is the year over? Are the best days behind us? Is it just going to be 3 more quarters of sadness? Who knows? But before that, we're going to be talking about Elden Ring, people. Yes, Elden Ring has finally made its way to Full Circle Podcast. Ben is a pro. I am a Joe. We're just going to talk about all of that. But before that, yes, people, Pokemon, one more time, just not the last time for the show, but the last time in a good while, unless something truly bonkers happens. Gen 9 has been revealed. Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet. And Ben, before we talk about the starters and yada, 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 how cool is it that we're returning to colors? Like, I don't know, to me, that's kind of like a return to form. No, I'm being serious. It's like, there's certain conventions in gaming that, like, when you use this, when you say this, it's like the word super and Nintendo. When Nintendo puts super in front of something, that has like a weight to it, a historical gravity to it. And I feel like colors being the name of a Pokemon game has that too. We got away from that about 3-4 generations ago. So to come back to that naming convention, to me, signifies like, oh, we're about to be in for a hell of a good time in some way, shape, or form. Or they
Okay.
could just be doing it and it means nothing.
I like it. I think it's something I don't feel like I've heard people speculate about. Scarlet and Violet. That's not like everyone always makes silly, stupid colors, and I don't think I've ever heard these. And it's a great choice. I don't. I'm really not a big fan of let's split it up into two just to get more money. But they've been doing it for 20 years, and that doesn't seem to be stopping them. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't buy both colors. I think that's a little silly. I will buy the third game if there's a third game, but I think we've gotten away from that. But I think it's kind of cute in a world where you no longer don't need to do something like this. It's keeping up with the whole. There's two versions. It's forcing the whole thing was it forced people to interact, and before online and stuff, you have to get personal, and I like that spirit of it. And also, I feel like okay. If you're gonna release two versions of the same game minus some minute differences like a color, and people are willing to buy both, that is on the consumer. The producer, am not gonna stop that money machine if people want to do that.
Yeah, you had 20 years to tell them, nah, we don't really like this, and you just said, no, we'll buy both of them. So that's on you.
Yeah, I remember sometimes me and my friend. They'll usually have like a deal if you buy both like in the double pack, and let's say it's regularly $60, and it'll be like $80 for the pack. So we'll be like, bro, I'll put in 40, you put in 40, and we just get the version we want. So it's been a deal for me these past years because I just do that with my buddies.
No, that's smart. Definitely do that.
Yeah,
But I'm really excited for this. I'm not a big, I'm not. You're the Pokemon guy.
yeah,
I'm over here like, they've been shitty for the last 20 years. Change your formula. But Arceus, I love. I think that game's phenomenal. I think it's the best Pokemon game probably since Gen 2 to me. I love it, and I think this game really seems, from the brief, minute we saw, seems to actually be taking a lot of lessons from that and bringing it back to the gym and trainer formula. And I'm really hopeful for it. This is the first time I've been excited for a new Pokemon game since Arceus, but we were all trepidatious about that. So
yeah.
really in years.
Yeah, it's funny because Arceus, like, I kept telling people, they were like, what's your opinion on it? I'm like, it's going to be hit or miss. I remember saying, I feel like this game it doesn't, I feel like this will not be a middle ground game. This will not be a game that will be okay. And people are going to be supercharged one way or the other. But even I didn't expect it to be like, knock it out of the park good. With all the technological, not issues, but, it's back. It looks like, a game that could be made on the GameCube era, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but I was like, hey, they did it. And clearly, we saw, it's more open. I'm assuming it's going to be like Arceus, but with the more traditional formula in it, without the, but we'll see, the success of Arceus has everyone excited, rightfully so. I was amazed because it's not that they announced it. It was like, I was 50-50 on that, but they actually revealed the starters. That really caught me off guard. And of course, people are going to have their favorites. Quaxel, is, terrible. Hate them or love them. You got Sprigatito. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's how you just have to say it. You got Fuecoco. I don't know that.
Fuecoco, like Fuego?
Yeah.
Fuecoco? I don't know.
Fuecoco? I don't know. It's one of those things, and then the official pronunciation be something stupid like.
Yeah, maybe they should have. Maybe they should have voice acting so we could understand what the hell these things are called. It's about time.
It is Arceus taught me that. Like, I've never skipped so much dialogue in my life. I was just like, bro, y'all are really saying a lot to say nothing.
There's a full-on like 3 minutes with no background music, and it's just bloop, bloop, bloop. Like, this is a terrible cutscene, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like the first 10 seconds told me, hole in the sky, bad, go here. I got it. I swear you're not saying anything of note anymore. But yeah, so I mean, I'm a fire guy, and okay, I'm not a fan of okay, this is gonna sound weird. I don't like animals that are not in their element. For example, Totodile, he's a crocodile. He belongs in the water. And I get there's a difference between alligator and crocodile, and one generically lives more on land than in water. And so I get there's crocodiles that Pokemon that are like ground type. But this one's like, okay, you're a crocodile and like you're just fire. Like, that always bothers me. Don't ask me why. It's like,
I mean, is it a crocodile?
It's a dinosaur. You know what? The Coco makes me think it's a crocodile. No, it says fire
Oh
croc
yeah.
Pokemon. Yes, it is a croc.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So
I see
I'm
that.
just like, eh. But he's kind of cute. Like his description does for me. The laid back fire croc Pokemon that does things at its own pace. I'm like, yeah, bro. We're in Spain. We're chilling. So he's my guy. But I'm not gonna lie, Quaxel, he's got something going for him.
No.
Like you're one of the Quaxel haters. Okay.
That duck, I have not hated a duck more since Untitled Goose Game. Fuck the duck, okay? I hate this duck. I will never pick the duck. It's like what's the one? What's the Sun and Moon water guy?
Poplio's the seal.
Oh yeah, hate the seal. Club the seal. Yeah. It's they haven't had a good water start in a long time.
You know, I do not like Poplio. I do not like Brony, its middle form. But I am a big fan of Primarina, the final form.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And it's usually the opposite. It's like, whoa, the first form's cool. The second form, I'm loving it. And then, like, they screw it up on the third form. Primarina was the opposite. It was like your first two forms, I could probably live without. But your last form got it right. You got it right. But, yeah, we usually, base them on the first forms. I like Sprigato because I think Litten is, like, one of the worst designed Pokemon ever.
This is better Litten.
Yeah, this is just better Litten. I'm like, yes, this my friend told me Sprigato looks too anime for him. Like if you showed that to him and said it was a Digimon, he would believe it. And I'm like,
oh, that is a Digimon.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I can see that.
Yeah, that's true. I like that one though. That's my favorite. I like picking grass. I like picking fire because it feels like everyone picks fire. And I don't know. I just want to be contrarian, I guess.
I like fire because that's my favorite type. I usually train a fire team. But see, my thing is like fire's just been bad once they were like, fire Pokemon, fighting Pokemon. They both begin with F, so I guess those two types have to go together. Because I was like, okay, Torchic to Blaziken, 10 out of 10. Like Chimchar to Infernape, it makes sense. Monkey King, yeah, okay. Then it was like to Pig. It's like it's a pig.
Oh yeah.
Like
no.
what? And why is it still firefighting? I was like, what? And then it was like, oh god, Fennekin brought it back a little bit, but then his final evolution looks horrible. and then Litten, as I've already stated, is just straight trash. I don't care. Keep your opinions, people.
I don't even remember what Litten looks like, to be honest with you. At this point in my life, I forgot.
Straight trash. And then we got our rabbit boy, and then I was like, there's hope again. And now we got oh man, I'm sounding like a horrible Pokemon.
Sponge Face. I don't remember. I don't know their names.
We got the fire rabbit, Score Bunny. There we go. And then we got we got Fuecoco. So to me, the fire Pokemon have been kind of, but I can rock with Fuecoco. I can. If it wasn't Fuecoco, I would go Quaxel just because like. Other than the Primarina, I've never picked the water starter. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time to make number 2. But I might, unless they screw him up, I don't know. But
yeah, that's always the thing. It's like, this is based on the final form, even though it's based on this form too. Yeah. I have to know the final form because I don't know what these things are going to be, and I'm stuck with whatever they are. So I have to know before I pick.
If they don't show it in a trailer before launch, I'll be surprised. Like, that's always my rule of thumb. If they show it, like if the Pokemon company shows it, okay, I'll deal with it. But if they keep it secret, then I'll try to keep it secret.
Okay. What's your thought on, because this is something I've wanted for, I don't know, 10 years, about like a different 3, instead of having the fire, water, grass, having a different set of 3 that have the same kind of opposites. You know the types better than me. I'm not the Pokemaster.
So they kind of did this in X and Y because they made it. They started the 3, but the final forms, it was Psychic, Dark, Fighting. So that was another trio. Psychic, Strong gets Fighting. Fighting, Strong gets Dark. Dark, Strong gets Psychic. Because Greninja was Dark, right. Half Dark. Chespin, Chestnut. Yeah, he was half Fighting, and then the thing Fennekin becomes Delphox was half psychic. And so like I kind of like that idea of like making the secondary type another trio. But it's one of those weird things where it's like part of me is like that would be cool, but then part of me is like a fundamentalist. Like, since I was there since day one, it kind of feels like this is just what it is.
Right.
Even outside of Pokemon, there's other games. Like, I mean, we're gonna talk about Elden Ring, but what if like From Software was like, what if we wasn't like a hardcore like learn style? What if we, I mean, they wouldn't change the formula like that, but there's just certain things where it's like,
Right.
I think Breath of the Wild is that like that was different, but there were certain things of Zelda like the Master Sword and Ganon and Zelda. Like it'll be like, well, there was a different three main characters that had the Triforce of.
Yeah. What if no Link and no Zelda?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was unheard of boy, unheard of girl, and like a new evil guy, and it would be like,
yeah.
You
I
could
don't like these people.
You could that could honestly be a great game, but it's like, but would we though?
Maybe for a spin-off game we could have different starters.
Yeah, I think we already have. I guess. Well, no, that's our system doesn't count. We just got from 3 generation. It's kind of like Bioshock. There's always a lighthouse bin.
Right. There's always a fire starter. There's always a water starter.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, because ultimately, I mean, you could just box it the second you get it and be like, I'll never see you again. I hate you.
But I want to love them. I just want my Ghost starter. I'm just a big Ghost type fan, and I feel disrespected. There's no Ghost Eevee. Very upset still.
All right, I'm gonna bookmark this. So when they like have that Ghost Eevee trailer, like I'm just gonna like clip this and be like, well, Ben, tell us things you don't like, and we'll make them happen.
I'm so excited. I have every Evolution as a plush, like the little plushes of them, and they're all on top of my TV stand. So I have like 9 Eevees on top of my TV. I love Eevee. Where's my Ghost Eevee? Because my second favorite thing is Ghost type Pokemon.
Nice. I hope they do the Sylveon thing where they just show us a new Eevee, and we're all like, oh, it's clearly this type, and then it's just like out of left field something you didn't. Well, Sylveon was Slide because Fairy type didn't exist. So
yeah, that's true.
But what if they just show us the Eevee and it's like it's so generically just like maybe like when it's an action you get it, but like its base body is just like I don't know what this is.
That's all I want. I want that, and I want Vanillish back. Those are my demands.
Oh,
I love that vanilla cone.
oh.
Love Pokemon. So dumb.
It's a good ice Pokemon. I won't lie.
Yeah.
All right, people. That's enough Pokemon. We had it. I'm pretty sure something amazing will happen. Another trailer would drop. We're gonna have a Pokemon Direct. Let's be real, and it's gonna stop the presses and stuff. But we're gonna talk about what's been stopping the presses for like the last, I don't know. I want to say week, but honestly, for the last year, it seems like. And that's Elden Ring. And then I'm going to be honest with you, like, I am not a From Software guy. I never played Demon Souls because I knew, or Dark Souls, whatever, because I just knew it wasn't my type of game. Like, sometimes you just know this isn't for you.
Yeah,
but then Bloodborne came out, and like, okay, so I don't do scary games. And Bloodborne isn't a horror game, but it's scary enough when it's that hard.
Okay, you're a baby. I got it. That's
yes,
fine.
I am a baby. I will not shy away from that. And then I tried to be Bloodborne, and after like losing 3 hours of progress because I couldn't make it to a save, and after thinking I killed the werewolf only for it to follow me and just kill me at random, and just have to look up the lore to know what I'm doing, I just gave up. I just hung it up. And now I'm back with Elden Ring, and thank God there's co-op basically from the beginning because I don't know if I can do this by myself.
What? So I love these games, right? I'm there. I'm making like a Dark Souls shelf, full of all the games, and I have statues. I got the collector's edition of Elden Ring with the giant lady with the sword. So I'm setting up this whole shelf, and in my Demon Souls copy for PS3 is the receipt that's like, oh, I was a fan since 2009.
Oh,
my
nice.
Proof receipt. Yeah, I have my proof of purchase. I love these games. These are the games that kind of reignited in the same way people talk about Ocarina of Time and this got me into gaming and this revolutionized all this stuff. For me, and maybe want to play more games, and video games could be so much more, et cetera, et cetera. I had that same feeling with Ocarina of Time, but then 10 years later, I had that same feeling with Demon Souls, and that's when it started becoming my favorite video game franchise of all time. At the time, didn't know it was going to be a franchise. I remember watching the Dark Souls 1 trailer and thinking, this is unbelievable. We're getting another one. I can't believe it. Like, where is the monkey paw end of this? It was that surprising to me. I never expected a sequel to Demon Souls or to see another thing like that. So in the 10 years since, we've gotten probably 5 of the best games ever made out of that franchise, and I am just living in this crazy paradise. But I'm curious, to you as not a Souls fan, what exactly is it that doesn't work for you? Because I feel like obviously it's very obfuscated, and it doesn't tell you anything. It lets you loose, especially this game lets you loose and just go wild. And I find that freedom very freeing, but I understand how that could also be crippling to where you don't know what to do, where to go, or anything. So what is it? How are you feeling with Elden Ring? What is it about it that has kind of stopped you or helped this time?
Okay, so all right, with Elden Ring specifically, like I will gladly admit that this game can still click for me. I am not at the point where like I'm just gonna hate it. It hasn't clicked. And as a capital G gamer, like I like to understand games. I like to, get out of my comfort zone. So I am enjoying. I can't think of the last time I had to learn a new game. I've played enough genres, enough type of things to have a basic understanding of anything I start. But this is the first time where I'm just like, I don't know the lore. This guy's like, I'm maidenless. I'm like, is that a common term? Is that a new term? I don't know what's new, what's old, what's hey and hoo. I don't want to have a base of blocking. I'm at ground zero.
Man, so what? Hold on. I want to interrupt you just for a second.
Yeah.
That feeling is how I felt playing Ocarina of Time in 1999, 2000. And it's the feeling I had playing Demon Souls. And it's what I loved about it. Like, Demon Souls made me realize that I forgot what it was like to be at ground zero. That feeling even existed. And it was this nostalgia for Ocarina of Time, but also bringing it modern and having me have those experiences again. Because like you're saying, we play a lot of games. You're going to turn the corner in the new God of War and you're going to see some new enemy and you're just going to charge right at it. You don't care.
Yeah.
Kratos, blah, 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 throw an axe. In this game, around every corner, or even any Souls game, you don't know what it is. You don't know what to expect. You see something and you're like, why does it have 3 arms? And then it starts moving and you're like, I don't know what to do with that. And it's those surprises and those moments that I feel like are very unique to these games and are why I love them. Sorry, I'll let you.
Oh yeah, no.
Go on.
The sense of discovery is what makes gaming great. Like I said, one of the things I love about Pokemon is like when you see a new Pokemon for the first time, it's just like I don't know what the hell that is. I literally have no idea. But in this game, I'm liking it because this is the one thing I'll give Elden Ring: the ability to just be like, no. I'm not, because in Bloodborne you do that and it never stops chasing you. It's like an endless hallway. Anything you don't kill in the hallway keeps chasing you down the hallway. Yeah. And so it's good to not have that, I guess, pressure on me. And me and my friend are playing through it, so that also helps to chat it up and stuff. And it's like I know I have not put enough. Like I'm probably still under 10 hours. I don't know what my actual hour count is, but I'm either at 10, like. Okay, I'm at like 12 max. 12 max.
Sure.
Well, whatever that means. I know this game's so open world and you can never create. But I'm there. And I'm just like, and I'm really just learning the basics. Like, I'll fight simple things. Like, all right. Because I'm still at the point where, like, I keep drinking potions because I don't know why. The potion button is it's square X. And it's just like, it's a button I'm so naturally used to pressing that I have to unequip items or else I would just go through my whole inventory.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting there. And, I'm enjoying the world. Like, I always say I never okay, I'm not going to lie. I like bright, colorful things in my gaming. I don't like everything to be dreary, but I get it. There's a time and place. But I keep hearing about these wonderful places online. Like, there's apparently a river that's, like, jaw-dropping. There's, like, a this and that. And I'm like, I really want to get to these places and see them. And now I'm like, okay, I have to get good. And then it finally hit me. This is one of those games that I know that is going to be, if I have a eureka moment, it's gonna come at like hour 60 or something. I just know the person I am. Cause I need things to make sense. Like I think if I played Breath of the Wild, never playing a Zelda game before, that might have been a hard time. But Zelda does give you like guide quests and stuff. And so I don't know. It's a weird thing, Ben. It's like I'm not having fun per se, but I'm not hating my time either. But like I said, the best part of this game, like you said, is what you described. Like I haven't been at ground zero in so long that's why I want to keep playing, because I'm just like, I can't think of the last time I felt so goddamn helpless. And as like I said, a capital G gamer, that's kind of enticing.
It's cool as shit. These games are amazing at that feeling and evoking that. I'm not torn on Elden Ring. I've played 30 hours of it. I took the week off work to play this game this week. And do chores and stuff, adult stuff, like go to Costco. That was my two tasks, Elden Ring and Costco. More harrowing, Costco. But I love what you're talking about, like being chased down a hallway. I miss the linear Souls experience from this game. It still exists. It still exists in this game, and it's in there a lot. But the open world dilutes it enough to where I'm like, this is a different game, and it's taken me a while to kind of not. I liked it the whole time, but it's like, this isn't exactly what I expected, so I have to acclimate to it. That makes sense. It's just a different thing. Like being able to ride a horse past a bunch of crap is new. Like that's not, the secret with Dark Souls is that you can run past every enemy. You just got to know when to dodge and then like run past them and get to the boss, and you didn't have to fight anything. But it's difficult, and you have to figure it out, and you have to know the secrets and know all that stuff. Being able to just ride your horse past it doesn't jive with how I want to play these games. So it has been an interesting process. But this open world, like, I don't know how far you've traveled around on this horse, but to see how big it is and how it is all laid out, it feels like a natural environment in a way. Since Breath of the Wild, really, the only game I could think of that has something of this scale and scope that is just out in front of you, that just exists and lets you in it. And I think it's that freedom to just see something on the horizon and go and get it and have misadventures along the way. And it's not bogged down by, oh, you discovered the so-and-so quest, and it bloop, bloop, bloop on the side of the screen. It's like, find 3 rupees in the thing. And that goes to your quest log, and it's like XP. And it's like all these feedback loops are there, but they're under the hood, and they're kind of self-created in its own way. Like finding a cave, it's not like you found a telescope and you looked around and you found all the caves. You were just wandering around. You're like, wait, is that a cave? And then you go in it and you have this little adventure in the cave. And it's those moments that really evoke. You think about Miyamoto and creating The Legend of Zelda and how it was about exploring when he was a kid. Like, this is what he's talking about. This type of exploration. And that's why people, I think, are giving it 10s and raving so much praise about its open world. Is there hasn't been an open world like this since Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is still very gamey. This is just a world. It's remarkable to just present a landscape and to have it be so vast and different and filled with secrets. I don't know if you've gotten. There's several treasure chests. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
I mean, go ahead. Like, I'm so lost that it probably won't matter.
Okay, well, I won't tell you location, and you won't know when it's going to happen. But there's treasure chests that are traps, and they will take you somewhere. And I've been taken all over this map accidentally, and then you have to find your way back. And I got transported to a cave, and it's way to the east. Never been even close to there before. And this was actually early on. It was probably 10 hours into the game I got transported by this treasure chest. And I'm in a cave. All these enemies are really tough. I can't get out. So I just run past them through the cave. And I exit into this weird poison lake with like red mountains and these crazy beasts. and it's this feeling of being a stranger in a strange land. And it just really does that feeling better than anything else. I think of other open world games, and they're so handheld. The freedom this game offers you to just ride and go into and make your own adventure, I think, is its greatest strength. I just wish I love the Souls part of it, and I wish there was more of that more consistently. It's still there and it's still great, but the open world, like the peanut butter jelly, is kind of like, I don't know if this mix works for me perfectly, but man, is it a wild ride.
Yeah, and that sounds amazing, and I believe you. And I've heard people, who are fans of both Zelda and the Soul series, they go, Breath of the Wild started this thing, and Elden Ring elaborate. I'm not saying that
Yeah,
the Breath of the Wild inspired Elden Ring's open world. It could have. I don't know. I'm just saying what came first. Therefore, we're gonna compare it to that. And it elaborated on this even more. And now people are saying like, watch Breath of the Wild 2 somehow make this look even simpler. I doubt it. But yeah, but who knows? Nintendo has the sauce. Every time we think they can't make a series better, people are like, where do we go from Mario Sunshine? That was crap. Man, Mario's probably Mario Galaxy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, and then Mario honestly was just like, this looks stupid to like, this is kind of crazy good.
Yeah, right. That's I think what people are feeling with this game. I feel like Elden Ring has finally broken through to a lot of critics, at least, that feeling of that I felt with Demon Souls, right? Like, to me, I don't think I'm as positive on the game as a lot of people, and part of that is because I've played these games for 12 years. Like, I've loved these games for a third of my life. Like, it's not new to me. Oh, there's a cool thing that teleported you somewhere. Oh, there's a neat boss that chops off his arm and does like weird crap. I've seen it. It's great. It's amazing. But I've seen stuff like that before because I've played these games. So I am lower on it, but it's everything I want to do necessarily. Like I just sit there all day and play this stupid game and I love it.
And after playing so when I saw the 10s, I was like, I remember having the feeling, I find it weird let's be honest, it's a niche game. The Soul series is not something that can appeal to everybody. It's not like a game. It's something that not you have to be bred to do, but you really have to go into it. It's not a game
mindset.
They're different mindset. And so I'm like, I really find it hard for a niche game to be that good. But then I started playing it. I started playing it, and like, it's one of those things, like, even if it doesn't appeal to me, I get it. And what I got from this game is, its importance isn't that it's a great Souls game. Its importance is that it pushes the genre of gaming forward.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I tell people, so people like to tell me all the time that Mario 64 is not as good as people remember. It's not that great of a game. I tell them, show me a game made from back then that has controls just as good. Because I always tell people, Mario 64 controls just as good as any game made today. And that's just amazing to me. It may not look the prettiest, but Mario stops on a dime and does everything you want him to do. Granted, things have gotten better, yes, but like I'm saying, like, if I go back in time and play, like, and this is 3D only, 2D games more or less control always good. But if I go back and play, like, a Gex game, hell, if I play don't pop in an original Crash Bandicoot and watch your hit detection and your peripheral vision go crazy. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
But I always tell
people, doesn't hold up.
Yeah. The importance of Mario 64, it's a good game. It is honestly a good game. But the reason why people hold it, because you got to think about what it did for the genre of gaming. How far it pushed it forward. And I think that's what Elden Ring's importance is, and why that's where its true 10 out of 10 comes from. It's not necessarily the game itself, but what it does for gaming. What this shows, it shows what we can do. And since that Breath of the Wild showed what an open world could be, this is that. But that was in the realm of believability. You know what I'm saying? As good as the Breath of the Wild open world, like, it didn't do anything that was unbelievable. It just did what we knew open worlds was, just extremely well.
Yeah, it just made it really big, and it added Zelda, so it made it it made it different and new and approachable and expanded upon a lot of things. But it didn't do, like you're saying, it didn't do anything that was like, oh, I've never seen this before. Like, no, you've seen it. It's just better and bigger.
Yeah. Versus this is like, I didn't know games could do this, period. And it's because, as you're talking about, even when I'm thinking about playing it, I'm just like, the fact that I always have this in the back of my head that this dwarfs the Breath of the Wild map by like, it's like, 2, 3 times, 4 times bigger, what have you. I don't know the exact scaling. And every time I think about that, like subconsciously, like I'm having a panic attack. I'm like, there's just no effing way. That's
too much.
That's thinking there's too much. And, and it's not like something like Red Dead Redemption, which I would argue are bad games.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Let me put like this.
I'm not offended. I don't really care that much.
Okay. The thing I would say is those games are big, giant, empty spaces filled with quests. Because that's the sensation I get when I play. I'm not like, ooh, look at that. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm just riding the horse. And the awe stopped being awe like 15 minutes ago. Now it's just tedious. Okay. I really wish I had a car.
I really wish this horse was a car. Please transform. I really loved Red Dead 2, and I think there's a lot in how I played RDR2 and this game in particular where there's no waypoints. There's no Ubisoft towers to unlock question marks on the map. And I like played 40, 60 hours of Valhalla, and I really liked it. But it's a different style of game, and even that game has elements of you're wandering around and, oh, there's a quest over here, and it goes out of its way to not really put markers, unless you tell it to not put markers on things. So you'll just wander into a place, and it's like, oh, I lost my thing, and you're like, okay, where is it? And it just kind of has this natural flow, and the same way Red Dead would do that, where you get like pulled over on the side of the road, or there's someone asking for help, and then they're just bandits are gonna take you when you go to help them. I loved, to go back to Red Dead, I loved just picking a spot on the map and going in that direction and having this kind of feeling like I was Arthur Morgan on an adventure, hunting for animals. I would hunt for no reason, just because I found it fun. Just because it felt like, this is what I should do. I should see what's around that corner. I should investigate this thing. And it's not because, oh, there's another of the sacred beast's tail feathers over there that's been marked on my map, or because there's question marks everywhere, like, hey, go look at this, hey, go look at this. It's because I want to do it. That same stuff is there. They very easily could put markers all over this map, but I think it's in the same, Breath of the Wild did this too, by not doing that and allowing you to put the markers on the map and you to have these moments and it just filling itself out naturally. It's such a better experience, in my opinion. It's not going to work for everyone. It's not going to work for every game. But I think in something like this, in something like Souls, where it is about being the weakling in the world and the world not revolving around you, you're an interloper, it fits very well.
Yeah. And, I get this is part of it, but I just wish, it wasn't so soul-crushingly hard. And I know there's going to people be like, oh, bro, it's not hard. All you got to get good and learn the system. And maybe I will, but I've never been so scared to die in a game because I'm just like, bruh, I'm going to be so crushed when I die and I can't get my crap back because it's in like God-forsaken spot surrounded by God-forsaken things. And sure. I'm going to get killed trying to get it back. And I know I've got to get over that fear at some point and just let it happen and roll with the punches because that's part of the game.
Yeah, you got to let it go. You got to. It is a tough thing to get over, but I would, like, my advice is to, if you're, especially in this game, if you're hitting a wall in the open world, just go somewhere else. Just find a cave you want to do, go do that. Find something that's more interesting to you. Explore, find weapons. Go to the island, actually, to the south. At the start of the game, there's like a lake. Follow the lake south, and then go across a bridge. Do that south island area. There's a lot of really good items there. That's my pro tip.
Right.
That'll give you some flasks and things if you do that whole island. And it's not much more difficult than the other area. It's fine. But it's such an interesting game. And there's a lot about get good and all that. And I don't think these games are any harder than, I mean, we look at Sifu. That game made me invent swear words. It is so frustrating. That Oh my god, that game does not teach you, it does not care about you, it does not like you, it'll murder your family. Like, I felt like John Wick after you killed my dog. It's like, I'm gonna kill all of you people and I will not feel sad about it. And then I beat it eventually. It took a while. It took a long, like 19 hours to beat Sifu. And I platinum Sekiro. Like, I love these games. I play these games. That game's harder. That game is more annoying. So it's not necessarily about getting good. It's about learning the mechanics, because that's what helped me with Sifu. It just took a while. You have to beat your head against the wall. But this game allows you to go around the world and not get stuck at a point. And a big thing is to not get greedy. This is not a God of War. This is not a Devil May Cry. This is a wait, look, learn, listen, and as soon as you know what they're gonna do, it's almost like a fighting game where, oh, I know his moves. Like, he's gonna do the Hadoken, I can block that with this, I can jump over this with that. And as soon as you know how to do that with just basic enemies attacks, it follows through to the bosses and everything else in the game, and you start learning, oh, when they're winding up like this, I can dodge that, and I can dodge that. Oh, he's getting ready to do another attack. Cool, let me just back up, and then we exploit it. And it becomes more of this kind of back and forth actual sparring thing than it is just run in like an idiot. Don't run in like an idiot. That's my pro tip number 2. Don't do that. It's a different game, and I understand a lot of people are really kind of against that. It's the same people, to bring up Red Dead, it's the same people that were like, oh, I can't ride my horse in this town. Oh my gosh, everyone just gets mad at me when I ride my horse. I'm like, bro, don't ride your horse in the town then. The game's telling you to not do it, and you keep doing it and be like, why is the game mad at me? Well, it's telling you, right? Like, this is like if D&D was a game, and the DM is telling you, hey, don't ride your horse in this town. Or, hey, that encampment is too high level for you. Don't go over there. I'm going to make him really tough. Like, you got to listen. You got to listen to what the game's saying. The game world isn't laid out for you to pick clean like a bandit in every other open world. It's laid out like a world. And you have to respect that and understand what that means. And it's just this totally different mindset for a lot of players.
Yeah. And I feel, if I'm going to be honest, I know some of this is just me being stubborn because, I know how to play games. I've been gaming since 1994, type of thing. I don't know. I went like Southern Colonel, but I did. And yeah. I always tell myself, Odell, think about the things you've done. You beat Celeste. You had a good time doing that. You've beat every Metal Gear on European Extreme. And that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you tell someone like, what you mean you get spotted and it's instant game over? I'm like, it's fun and challenging. So I'm telling myself, I've played hard things on hard modes. I got the trophy for beating every Mass Effect on Insanity in the collection. And this is my first time with Mass Effect. It wasn't even like, so I played through it on normal and then played through all 3 games again on Insanity. So I don't think it's honestly that hard, truth be told. But my point is, I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake on hard mode, and I'm gonna play, Advanced Wars when it comes out and remember why I hated this game as a child. So I'm like, Odell, you've done things that are challenging in gaming. You've even upped the ante and done things that are stupidly hard in gaming on purpose. Just because you're late to the party and haven't done this doesn't mean. So like, I know I'm just like, it's just something new, and that can be scary. And so I'm really, and I also tell myself, Bloodborne was a mistake. That was a mistake on me. I go to the Super Weenie Club on Saturdays. I probably shouldn't have played that.
I think Bloodborne is a good starting point, but honestly, Elden Ring, people will disagree. Elden Ring is a great starting point for the Souls games. You're going to be just as confused playing any of the other ones. You know what I mean? Like, if you've never played any of them, you're not going to understand flasks and upgrading incantations and all this crap. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get that in Bloodborne. You're not going to get it in Sekiro. You're not going to get it anywhere. So you might as well start here, because this one has that open world that is more approachable. You understand this. You understand I can ride a horse and go in a direction. Like, that's cool and basic. And I think if you if people really play it and give it a shot and get immersed in that world, you eventually will start chipping away at, oh, I didn't understand that before, but I do now. I know what that item's for now. And it's just going to come through playing it. It's just inaccessible. It doesn't want you to understand. It's the distant girl at the party. You're like, I'm trying to relate to you. And they're just like, nah. But you gotta push through that and play Elden Ring instead.
Got it. And, I'm going to make this joke. This joke's been made on Twitter. I can't wait for Horizon 3 for the game of the year of that year to be released a week later. Har, 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 har.
It's true. So I haven't started Forbidden West yet because I got it like 3 days before Elden Ring came out. And I was like, why would I start this? It's also going to ruin Elden Ring because it looks so good.
Everyone keeps showing me pictures. I'm like, you edited this. They're like, no editing. I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
It's crazy. But I know I'm not a big fan of Horizon in the first place, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get it because I told myself, okay, Odell, let's be real. It's time to be an adult. Don't buy Horizon and don't buy Elden Ring because one of those games will not be played. So just buy one. And I was like, I played the first Horizon. It's a good game. It gets a little samey for me. Like, I feel like halfway through it got a little samey. Like, that's the indie game, but it was just like, eh. So I was like, Forbidden West, Elden Ring, I'll go for the new. I'll go for something new because Horizon Forbidden West, it's great. It looks amazing. From the pictures I've seen, I'm sure it will. But it's like, I've done this before. I know what to expect. It's a gaming game. And like you said, so I was like, let me challenge myself. So I was like, I will buy Elden Ring. And then, I'll cop Horizon when it's like, 40, 50% off for some random PlayStation reason.
Right. Well, I only got it through GameFly because that's
how
I get
ambassador here.
My GameFly. I wish I was a GameFly ambassador. Oh my god, I saved so much money with GameFly. It's ridiculous.
All right. So now that February is over, we've entered March, the rest of the year. And all right, Ben, just right off the cuff of what you're looking forward to. Is the best of the year already behind you personally?
Yeah, probably. But I'm looking forward to a couple things. I think God of War will make this year probably. I'm excited for that. Not a big God of War fan, but the 2018 was pretty freaking great, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the new Kirby game. I really like Kirby. I want to love Kirby, but the games are kind of, you talk about samey. The Kirby games can be pretty samey a lot of the time. Sometimes they're wild, like Robotobot and all these weird, like Kirby's Mass Attack. They do weird shit. But a lot of the times it's just floating and jumping and shooting little air bubbles and then sucking up the sword guy again. This looks different. And it has that. It's the first time it's in like a 3D third-person isometric kind of camera, as opposed to just a 2D game side to side. I'm excited for it. Now, will I buy it? No. It'll be a GameFly game for sure. But I think that's really it for me for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So for me, Pokemon clearly it's the number one.
Well, okay,
duh.
Sure.
And, God of War, if it happens, look forward to. I'm with you on that. Like God of War is one of those games. Like I was always like, games aren't that violent but like God of War, it's violent for the sake of violence, and it's like I feel like you can play 3 without playing 1 and 2. Like just play 3, you get it.
Sure. There's not much to get.
Yeah, I played all 3, but 2000 the whole. Like, my thing is play 3 just to appreciate 2018 that much more. Like, because I feel like you could play the new God of War and it's just great on its own. But just seeing that, like, mature progression is like, yeah, this was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, that was good. Good idea.
Yeah, but, so if God of War, cool. If Breath of the Wild 2, cool. But we don't know. If those things do come out, clearly the year will be insta-stacked. But yeah, right now, the biggest games I'm looking forward to outside of Pokemon is Kirby, The Forgotten Lands, and Tunic. Which I already played Tunic like 1,000 times in PAX, so I know it's Dark Souls-esque. So I'm like, that's why another thing, like, I gotta get Elden Ring. So like when I come into Tunic, I'm like, yeah, I've already trained my body to be hard and tough and all that good stuff.
You did eventually play Death's Door, right?
I have not played Death's Door, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I haven't. Was it
Game Pass?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass now, right? Yeah.
So well, definitely play Death's Door, but I feel like Death's Door ruined Tunic for me, where it's kind of a similar enough game. And then when I played the Tunic demo in December or so, I didn't really like it. I was kind of just whatever about it.
I played enough different builds to where like the last build I played, I remember it was like further on in the game, and like it was at the point where like basic enemies were just killing me. And as a Dark Souls fan, I think you would love that. Like like again, I play like the first beginning area, but it was like, oh, here's like a further along, and I was just like, bro, I am getting one shotted by everything that moves. And I don't know.
I'm definitely gonna.
Does that happen in Death's Door? I thought. I mean, I know it's challenging, but it doesn't seem. And it never came across as that hard.
It's challenging. It's not like super hard, but I wouldn't describe it as easy. I wouldn't describe it as like like a Zelda 2D Zelda is more easy. It's harder than that for sure.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are excited for Triangle Strategy. That's a game that I'm gonna have to circle back to because I'm gonna have to be in a certain RPG mood for a game like that. Like RPGs that are that level hard, I gotta be in a mood for. Like I can't pick that up. I gotta be in like all right, here's a weekend. I have nothing planned. There's nothing good on TV, and I just want like something to just
yeah, like a warm blanket of a game.
Yeah, something where I could be in the mood of like I got 5 hours to get past one mission. I can spend my day doing that.
At that. I feel like with Triangle Strategy, this is a fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't know. But I think Octopath Traveler is one of the most overrated RPGs in the last whatever.
I half agree with you. I half agree with you. I say that because I never beat the game fully. No
one beat that game.
Games that ask me to beat its challenging game story 8 times, it's just a tall ask. Like, I made it through a playthrough and a half and was like, that's as good as it's going to get for me.
I feel like, I mean, not to get into it, but I feel like the game balance was all over in that game. Like, you just go into areas like, oh, now they're 10 levels higher. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. And normal battles against things that were your level would take 5 minutes to fight. I'm like, I don't have time for this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at the calendar, I feel like March has the most anticipated games announced. It's like, we got Kirby, we got Gran Turismo, we got Triangle Strategy, we got Persona 4 Arena Ultimate, we got Grand Theft Auto 5 people. Whoa, boy. People who buy the game just need to stop. I'm sorry, just stop it. You have a problem. You need to stop. If you have not played Grand Theft Auto 5 yet, do not buy it on the Xbox Series S or X. Do not buy it on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Tell Rockstar to stop. Just
stop it.
Y'all have a problem.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
That game's almost 10 years old.
Yes. We got Death Stranding's director's cut. But then you go like to April and stuff. It's just like,
Well, there's a couple things. There's Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I think is a giant question mark on if it's going to be great or what the hell even is.
All right, hot take. I think Borderlands is just super overplayed out at this point. I don't know if there's anything you can do to, like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's one of those things like, it's like Call of Duty. It's like, okay, we got to do something else.
Yeah, so this could be that with giving it a more D&D thingy with it. So there's that game. There is Strangers in Paradise, which is the worst name, the Final Fantasy Origin whatever, which I actually really like the demo of. It's made by the Team Ninja that does Neo. It's clearly the same engine as Neo as well, and it's one of those type of games, so I like it. There's one other thing. I don't remember, though. Oh, well.
I don't know. Oh, we are getting, the Nintendo Switch Sports that we found out about. We are going to get Strikers in June, right. I believe, June or July.
Yeah, I think it's June.
We have June. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we got the Klonoa remake in July. Boom.
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Boom.
I'm excited for that.
For those who know me, I am a big Klonoa guy. Do not sleep on this, people. The games are not hard, but they are just filled with... Klonoa is a series to me that reminds me that, as much as we have The Last of Us and these big AAA productions, that gaming is such a unique art form that when a game is a game and it's good, it just truly can outshine anything else. And I'm not saying The Last of Us Part 2, 1 or 2 is not a good game, but it's what I consider those things. It's people who wanted to make a movie and threw a game in between. And that could be good or bad for most reasons, but it's a reason why, you know, Mario Galaxy 64 and stuff are so highly rated. It's because they understand what makes gaming what makes a game, and that's Klonoa. That's a series that I'm so happy that so many people get to. It's not hard. It's not super challenging, but everything just clicks and we're not here to talk about that. We'll talk about that in June.
Well, I have a Klonoa question. Just a quick Klonoa question. The only one I ever played was on the GBA. Is that a remake of one of the originals, or do you know?
I think it's like it's an in-betweeny story. It's one of those. Okay, so like you have Klonoa,
really
you have Klonoa 1 and 2. You know, that's the two main story games, and then the one for the GBA is like a prequel and a sequel. It's like a prequel and a in-between story to. So there's 2 or 3 for the GBA. I can't remember. But the way it is, it's a prequel to the events of 1, and then right after the events of 1. So Klonoa's a dream traveler, and what he is, he's like a being that like exists out of time and space. But when there's like a need, something that needs to be fixed in the world, think of like a Saturn Sora. Like,
this is literally the plot of Half-Life also.
Yeah, he manifests himself into like reality wherever the problem is, right? And then he fixes it, and then he creates happiness, but the tragicness is at the cost of his own thing, because he like, once his job is done, he like fades away out of existence and is only remembered as like a dream. Like, it's like, yeah, it gets real deepy saddy, but I think it's a cool concept that I wish was expanded on more. So yeah, like at the end of his games, it's one of those things like, did this even happen at all? Yeah. So yeah, we got the Saints Row remake, which I'm just kind of lukewarm on. I mean, bro, after 10 years of GTA 5, like
anything else, please.
Yeah, and then September we have Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. November we have Starfield, which needs to be updated to Pokemon too. But okay, I'm gonna be honest with Starfield. I'm just like, bro, any game that's this close to launch and you have no idea what it's about other than being in space, I just feel it's a flop. Because I personally I don't like artificial hype. Like, people are so hyped for this game. I get it. It's studio whoever, the director whoever. But I'm like, in gaming, does that even mean anything? Like, these aren't movies. Like, I don't know. Like, names don't mean anything when it comes to game. I'm like, bro, what is your game and will it be good?
Show it to me.
Yeah, like, it's a game. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Starfield could be bad, but I'm just like, it's whatever.
Starfield. So my predictions for Starfield are we get a big blowout like we got with Fallout 4 at E3. 6 months before release, not even. There was a big 20-minute thing they did. I feel like we'll get that at E3 time this year for Starfield. But it is an interesting question because of the reception of Fallout 4 and how many years it's been, and did they update their engine, and it's a new setting. There's a lot of question marks there. And I feel like the answers to those questions could be very disappointing in a post-Horizon, Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring world. It might be one of those games that is very impressive, but if it had come out a year or two prior, it would have really knocked our socks off. But it comes out now, and it's like, oh, cool. That's good. It might be a situation like that.
You know what? Honestly, now that you said it, I'm with you on that 100%. It's going to be a game that's like, bro, a little 2 years too late.
Yeah. And I love Fallout, but we'll see.
And, it's kind of like Cyberpunk. It's Cyberpunk where it was, which I always tell people, I feel bad for Cyberpunk because the story of that game is actually 10 out of 10 good, if you ask me. Cyberpunk really 2077 has a really good story. Very impressive. I mean, good enough to make me play through day one edition with all the bugs and problems. And it's like, dang, I would be excited for whatever comes after Cyberpunk 2077. And I feel like Starfield won't have a technical issue. It will be perfectly what it was meant to be. But like you said, it would just be after everything else. This was a game that wouldn't succeed, and after where we reached today. But so and people, honestly, that's all the big releases. Like if you look at a release calendar, everything from July to the end of the year is basically 2 to 1 games that's officially announced. So what I
there's
think,
not a lot announced.
what I think is gonna happen is, especially from Nintendo, we're gonna end up with a lot of Metroid Dread situations. Hey everybody, here's this really cool, amazing game that's coming out a month from now, and you're like, what?
Yep.
What? That's what I think 2022 is gonna be known for. Just these shadow drops. Like, hey everyone, here's Switch 2, here's the new Mario, and Breath of the Wild 2 is delayed because it's gonna be on this new Switch and look 50 times better. Hey everybody, also here's the return of Jak and Daxter. Here's the new Uncharted. I feel like 2022 is gonna be that. Here's this, just a game out of left field that everybody would have loved and been drooling over for years if you didn't announce it a month before release. But now it's here, and we're just
Right.
I that's what I feel is gonna happen. And let me put it like this: if that doesn't happen, this is gonna be a funny year for gaming.
Right.
It's gonna be like, hey, you remember 2022? Yeah, the year that Elden Ring came out and nothing else.
Then its game stopped for 8 months.
Yeah.
That's how it used to feel in like 2003. We get 4 games in the summer. That was it.
Bro, but those were good times because you could
Those
play
were
every
good times.
game.
That
Like-
GameCube era was amazing.
Yeah, bro, like think about, you played every AAA game that came out. A couple of indies is like, you know, and then you find like some obscure game that you love, like Klonoa, and then you tell people like, 20 years from the point you played the original game that it's the best thing ever. But yeah, now it's like people like, oh, bro, did you play that awesome game from 2 years ago? No, bro, I was too busy playing like the 2 other awesome. Like I still haven't beat Ghost of Tsushima, and I don't think I ever will at this point.
It's good. I like that more than Horizon. I think.
I'll take
Not
it.
the new one. I haven't played the new one.
Yeah, but I mean, before we get too deep in the weeds, that's our show for this week, people. Ben, where
there's
can
one
people
game.
find? Oh, what happened?
There's one more game that we forgot about, and it's Forspoken.
Oh,
That game is gonna fall on its face. That's my prediction.
Oh, yes.
There's a bad stink in the air about this game. There's something wrong. There's something wrong.
It was so exciting. I remember telling someone, whoa, this is the first next-gen game that looks next-gen in terms of movement and graphics. It looks kind of crazy cool. And then they showed the story. And then they put their foot in their mouth. And then they were like, okay, my thing was, okay, I never talked about this, but I say, you can't say things like black teen swagger and then follow it up with no black people were part of this production. Like that's just bad.
That's
just really bad. Like I'm not saying black people had to be part of the production. I'm not saying that the fact that they wasn't is just gonna make this, but you can't say that. That's like saying this game is all about women empowerment. And not a single woman even looked at this during production.
Yeah.
It's just setting yourself up for failure. Like the first sentence was already cringe. Like,
that first sentence was bad.
Like, and I was just gonna let it happen. I was just gonna be like, it was one of those things. It's like, I get 2020 was a rough year. We had to look ourselves in the mirror, and now we're trying to do better. I get it. I get it. Sometimes when you're trying to do better, you kind of slip up. But there was no ill intentions.
Yeah.
But then they just somehow made it worse.
No.
And it was like, it's just one of those things like, and then, like you said, then there's the stink in the air, and then the story looks stupid, and then it was like, bro, and I forgot the game was even coming out. Who's even talking about it now? Like,
nobody.
No one's wow. Yeah, oof, well.
I mean, we talked about triangle strategy for longer than we talked about this game.
Yeah,
it's not good. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. Like we've looked at this industry for long enough to know something's not right here.
You know what's gonna happen? Ubisoft. There was a report from IGN earlier this year that said, I think it was like a month ago or 2-3 weeks ago, that apparently Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in production. So maybe we'll get that this year.
Okay.
I mean, I want to have hope. I've already gave up hope. Oh wait, Mario Rabbids 2. That's supposed to be coming out this year, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, I love that game.
Yeah. You know what? This is gonna be the year. If Switch announces Switch 2, this will be a year of the Switch.
Yeah, please don't. I don't need to buy another thing, but
Yeah. I said just announce. It doesn't have to release. It could just announce it.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? You
I'll
know,
allow it.
because this will have, they'll announce it, and then we'll be like, we know where we're getting Breath of the Wild next year.
Yeah, that's the day.
Right. It's going to sell the Switch too.
I hope so. The Switch is underpowered. Let's bring it on.
Yeah. It's like, it's almost just like a running joke at this point. Why did they put Apex Legends on it? Anyway, Ben, where can the people find you, keep up with you, all that good stuff?
Just keep up me on Twitter at Ben Runnings, BenRunnings. For updates on any podcast, maybe I'll post a video. I've been toiling with the idea of doing TikTok.
Oh.
But I don't know if the gray hairs on my head will allow me to do it.
I think you could be big. That I read an article about how TikTok is now being taken over by the millennials. So
Perfect. Am I a millennial? What's the cutoff for millennial? Because I feel like it changes every 5 weeks or so.
I don't know. My rule of thumb is, were you born between 85 and 95, then you're millennial.
Yeah. Do you know what a floppy disk is? You're a millennial. Yeah. I think that might be it.
Yeah, that's a good telltale. Like, you're too young. I mean, you're too young for an 8-track, but you're just right for a floppy disk.
Yeah.
Or
you remember when that was on the school checklist of things you needed? It was like a ruler, some crayons, a floppy disk. Like, that's weird shit.
Like I remember that. Like, ooh, look at my floppy disk with like, I don't know, 50 megabytes of storage.
Oh, not even. Those floppy disks are like 1.4 megabytes, I think, or 3 megabytes. It's crazy small.
Yeah, I remember the time I wrote a paper and saved it on a floppy disk and then went to the school and popped it in and then printed that paper. Future.
We're the future now.
Yeah. And as always, people, you can follow me at Harmon Jr. and all your favorite social media. You can follow the show at FC Podcast 23 on Twitter and Instagram. And you can listen anywhere podcasts are found. Remember, people, like, share, subscribe. But, I mean, leave a review. That's also free. I should tell people to do that more often. Get the Metacritics up. Podcast is doing numbers. We're more and more places, so I appreciate the support. Because I'll be honest, people, I post an episode once a week, and then that's kind of where I leave it. So, however you're discovering the podcast, all these new listeners every week, I appreciate you finding the show. Maybe one day I'll do some like massive social media outreach. But we just have fun. We have great guests. Again, Ben, thank you for joining me. It was fun. Thank you for giving me that Elden Ring lowdown.
Dude, keep at it. Do not give up. Don't let the game win. That's what it wants.
You're right. I won't. But as always, everyone, have a great week and be blessed. Peace.
I was trying to do the ending song, but I can't really do it. It's hard to do.
I don't know how it goes. I'm gonna end it with jazz hands. Yeah.